Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I'm heading out for a 21-kilometer long run, which will be my longest run in 6 months. I'm terrified, quite frankly, but this is marathon training. You have to get in those long runs if you want to be able to do the race itself, and it only gets worse from here. So I'm a little bit nervous, but today I'm doing a flat-ish road run, and it'll be by far my longest road run, and I'm hoping that it being on the road will make it that little bit easier on the legs and on the lungs. So I'm setting off from the park here. It is probably perfect weather for running today. It's about 11 degrees, 12 degrees, grey, not too many people out, and it's not raining yet. It says it's going to rain this afternoon, so hopefully I'll be back before then. But I'll be here with my boyfriend when he eventually arrives, and we'll be doing 21 kilometers along the Bristol to Bath cycle path. I'll bring you guys along with me and let you know how it goes. So I'm currently just going along the Bristol to Bath cycle path. If anyone's followed me for a couple of years, you may recognise this. Sorry, it's not actually beautiful. Because this is where I used to do all my interval training sessions when I was training for my sub 20-minute 5K, and it's a 3.5 kilometer jog down here. So by the time I'd actually started doing my intervals, I'd already done 3.5K and then a 3.5K back. So 7 kilometers plus the interval sessions. It was pretty standard for me to be doing 12, 14, 15 kilometer sessions on a weekday, and then my long runs at the weekend as well, which, thinking back to that now, I mean, I just don't know how I did it. It's wild, but at least it shows that, like, our bodies respond to the stress and the pressure that we put it under. So right now I'm doing marathon training and I'm building up from scratch, and yeah, sure, I'm really unfit at the moment, but I know that I have it in me to do some kind of fast times, and all it takes is just consistency and making sure that I recover well. So it's funny being back here, because I haven't been back here in a while, but it's all good training, and I thought I need to do some road running. However much I hate it, I need to get out on the roads and make sure that I am prepped for the Paris roads when I eventually get around to it, because it is not long now. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm fine.
You're fine, he says, insinuating that I'm not.
It's a lovely pace.
Yeah. Rhian's got annoyingly fit, as I've mentioned in several previous vlogs, and he's like, come on, is this as fast as we're going? He met up with me and he was doing like 420 kilometers, so, you know, it's slightly insulting to me, but never mind.
Oh, this is probably the one and only time in our lives I'm going to be fitter than you, so I've got to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good incentive for me to really get back to it. But got to go slow and steady, literally and figuratively. So we are 7 kilometers in, average pace about 6:35 per kilometer, and I'm thinking that for the marathon this is sort of 6:40 about is the pace that I'll go for the running, but I will be trying to keep my heart rate down, so there's a good chance I will walk sections of it. I'm not really sure yet, because obviously this isn't like linear progression. I'm gonna have to see how I'm feeling as I get closer to the marathon and make sure that, well, basically make sure that I can do what I can manage. So whether that's running the whole thing at a slow pace or doing a run walk strategy, only time will tell. But yeah, 7 kilometers. We are at fish ponds, and I'm always desperate to stop at this cafe, but I'm always at the furthest point of my interval training or a run. So there you go, that's fish ponds. And you know what, I think next time I do a 30k run and come back this way, I'll grab a coffee when I'm there. Nice little treat. And that's the great thing about doing really long runs, is that you can stop, get yourself an ice cream, get yourself a coffee, and it all just counts as gut training. Gotta save the worm. Definitely gonna die in the middle of the path. Go on, there you go. Can you be a choo-choo?
How do I do that?
That's a Peep Show reference. I don't know much history about this place, but I do know that this used to be the railway path between Bristol and Bath before they straightened it and did the faster route, and now they turn this all into a cycle lane, which is close to traffic, which is lovely because it means that you don't have to worry about getting run over, you don't have to stop at traffic lights, etc, etc. And it also means that you can pretend to be a train, which yes, I do every time I come down here. Chugga 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 chugga, and listen to a lot of musical theatre actually. And you can see all the old train stations all the way along here basically. Oh, there you go, there's a little bit of information. Why is there... okay. Oh, paleontology. He already knows all of it, so he's left. I'll brush up on my knowledge of that and then I will report back to you in due course. One of the reasons why I thought it was really important to do a road run today, obviously it's the longest run of my training program so far, and the longest run I've done in 6 months, so it does make it a bit easier doing it on a relatively flat road, but mostly it's because the pressure on the system of doing a trail run is quite different to the pressure on the system to do a road run, and trail running isn't easier, nor is it harder. It's kind of like what you're used to. I mean, it is a little bit harder in certain ways and it would definitely take me a lot longer, but it's also softer on the joints and requires a bigger diversity of different muscles and ligaments and tendons, whereas running on the road is very monotonous, and it's one of the reasons it's not my favourite thing to do in the world. But I have to get used to it because those are exactly the muscles, tendons and ligaments that I'm going to be using to be able to do Paris Marathon. So I have to get practice in doing a continuous rather than a stop-starty run on road, and that's what I'm doing, and I felt pretty good up until just now, which is at 10k. Muscles wise I feel fine, but my ankle tendons... I'm being chased by Rhian. Yes, there he is. Always know when there's a man chasing me.
Not creepy.
Not creepy at all. Yeah, just my ankles are a little bit tender now, but that's fine. That's what all the training's for, and we're still going at the same pace. 6:25 the last kilometre was, so not bad. There you go, train station, train station. Choo-choo! You're not playing ball, not playing train. It's pretty cool though, isn't it? Right, we've turned around, we are on our way back. We've done 12 kilometres, pretty much continuously. I just stopped to have a look at the sign back there because I did want to let you guys know something about this. Did not stop for very long, so I'm just going to see what I can remember. So as I mentioned, this used to be a railway path. I didn't realise that it was one of the first railway systems in the country before steam trains. So they use gravity and horse and cart to basically tow wagons of coal. And as I mentioned in my Cotton River Park little history nerdy note, coal mining was a huge thing here in Bristol, and a lot of the old mines and quarries are now really beautiful nature reserves. So they used to use horses to lug wagons of coal along here, and then that was replaced with steam trains, and was one of the earliest railways in the whole country, which I had no idea about, which is super cool. And then it was shut down in the late 1960s, which is actually a lot more recent than I thought it was going to be, and is now this awesome cycle path. Unfortunately, with the route that we're doing, we're kind of doing the less pretty bits. It gets really pretty as you go towards Bath and you actually go out into the countryside, which I love. And for one of my longer runs, I think I'll get the train out to Bath and then run back, which I did in training for Tokyo Marathon and have done once since as well. And it is a really nice, really lovely route, and you don't have to worry about getting lost or mapping or anything. You can literally just focus on running, eating and drinking, which are my 3 favourite things. And for all you nature nerds out here, because of all the trees and there are a couple of like woodlands around the side of the path as well, and then it turns into countryside. This is a really important wildlife corridor, and it does go into the centre of both Bristol and Bath, so very important for nature. There you go, there's your history fact of the day. Having my second food of the run. We're an hour and 33 in, 14.5k, and this is the lemon drizzle flavoured flapjack. Delicious! This is a new flavour for, this used to be called Nuru, they're now called One Good Thing. And they're the ones that don't have any packaging, which I love because I'm trying to reduce the amount of plastic packaging that I have while on a run. I think us runners proclaim to be obsessed with the environment and sustainability, and then have, you know, 6 gels on a training run, each with individual plastic wrapping, and I'm trying to find alternatives to that. So the first one that I had was Lucha Dietos. This is One Good Thing, and Lucha Dietos has a biodegradable, completely compostable packaging, and this one has none, and they're very yummy. I'm trying to train Rhian how to eat food whilst on the run. He's very good at eating food usually he doesn't struggle, but when he's out running he's like, oh, I don't need food. So, you know, you got to practice.
You're gonna force me, I'll eat more.
He's having a baked pole flapjack, my favourite flapjacks, and they are very good. Anyway, we've done 16 kilometres. We are going slightly faster because it's slightly downhill on the way back. Last kilometre was 6 minutes, which is a wee bit too fast, but it's a little bit easier this way than the other way. And I started drinking my water at the very beginning of this run. I was like, my heart rate was just spiking so much because I'm not used to carrying a pack, which is why I thought it was important that I did for this run. And I still don't know if I will during the race or not, but if I can train with the pack, then I can race with the pack or not. And I'll just be a little bit faster if I don't have it. So that's the goal at least. So how long do we have to go? 5k.
Yeah.
5k! Yay! And I feel all right. Heart rate's a little bit high, but it is dropping as we go further, which is not bad. Having my last piece of food, which is the rest of the One Good Thing flapjack at 1 hour 50 in, just over 17 kilometres. Food is so important on the run. I know I keep banging on about it, but basically there's a bunch of studies that show that the more food you eat as you move, the quicker your recovery is after the run. So it's so important. It's not just a case of like, I'll get through your run and then have some food afterwards whenever you feel like it. It doesn't really matter if you're hungry or not. You will recover better from your runs if you eat sufficiently during and around them. Obviously that doesn't go for like a 5k run, but if you're going for longer than 90 minutes, food is important. And I know a lot of people do fasted training. The jury's out on that, especially for women, but in generally you're gonna improve quicker if you eat enough. Hence all my flapjacks. 18 kilometers in, which, as Rhian just pointed out, makes this my longest run in 6 months, which is incredible. Incredible. And as he also just pointed out, we haven't broken a sweat yet. What he didn't say was that's because we're going very slowly and it's cold, but you know, we'll focus on the positives. And I'm so happy with that. Not done yet, obviously. 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, we're going to be finished before we're back home, so it's going to be longer than 21. But hey, that's just extra training. Yeah! Quite funny that I consider myself a trail runner, and yet I get to a 2% incline and I start complaining because why is there a hill in my road run? That's not allowed. So ridiculous, isn't it? It's all relative. That's a flat run. It is a flat run. But every time I hit the slightest of inclines, I'm like, Oh God, I can't get up this. So silly. How am I ever going to go back to the Alps? Half a kilometre to go, and we've had to stop because there's a traffic light. How annoying. Oh. Probably quite good for me though to have a bit of a rest. So kind of annoyingly slightly uphill all the way home, but good for my legs. Whew. My watch keeps telling me I'm going too slowly because I'm trying not to pause it at traffic lights and that, because sometimes I just automatically do it, but of course I'm going too slowly, I've stopped.
There we are.
We done?
Half marathon.
Yahoo! Done!
Well done.
Oh.
Your longest run in 6 months.
Oh, it's horrible.
Keep moving.
Made it! Whew. That was tough. Very happy with that though. Let's press save so that doesn't delete itself, because as we know it doesn't count unless it's on Strava. Set perceived effort. What do we find there? Moderate, somewhat hard. Let's go with that. How did I feel? Strong. I did actually. I felt pretty good. So, well, mine says 21.5k, but we obviously had to go until Rhian's was on half marathon. One new record, fastest half, 2 hours 15 minutes. Did you enjoy that?
I'm going to get all new records because my watch doesn't sync with my phone anymore.
Oh yeah.
So every run's a record.
Every run's record pace, 6:27 per kilometre. I'm very happy with that. I mean, that's sort of how fast I've been doing all my recovery runs. It's just like, I only have one speed and it's 6:30 per kilometre. I'm fine with that. If I can do the whole marathon at that, I will be very happy. But somehow I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm so pleased with that. I mean, I have to just reset all my expectations from like where I was a year ago or 2 years ago to where I am now. It's like when you get a new watch and you lose all the records you did. So as Rhian was just saying, every run is a record-breaking run. And that's how I feel now. It's like BEBV, like BC but before EBV, and then PEBV, post EBV, even though I still got it. Does that work? That kind of works, yeah. Anyway, very happy with that. Thanks for joining me, Fee.
That's okay. Thanks for taking me. That was my longest run in 9 months, I guess.
Wow, well done. Very impressive. You're a runner now.
I can run.
You can run. If you run, you're a runner.
Is that the way it works?
Yes, it is the way it works. Certainly is.
Okay.
Oh, well done. High five.